So like Chile and Argentina are such a similar but at the same time like different countries. And what I like about both is that they combine like great together. Like you can visit the north of Argentina, which is more wild and more like unseen and more like not visited, but then go to a more cosmopolitan city like Santiago. Buenos Aires on the other side, it's really European, so a lot of people love like arriving to Buenos Aires, being a couple of days there at the beginning or at the end of their trips, because it makes them feel more like they're in Europe, or for Europeans make them more feel like home, but with this kind of Latin vibe, because you have like the tango and there's a bit of salsa as well, and like people are in the streets like if they're in Italy, but because Argentina has a lot of Italian influence, but it's more Latin. So on that side, I like mixing both cities. If someone can arrive to one and depart from the other, I think it's great, so they can see like the differences, because Santiago is really cosmopolitan. Like, of course, Patagonia and Easter Island are like the main destinations in the area, like, and Patagonia being both Chile and Argentina. I like the mix of both. Like, I like people going to Torres del Paine National Park and then moving into El Chaltén, Calafate. If they want to go a bit further, they can then go to Ushuaia, and even further, like to Navarino Island, for the ones looking for a more wild experience and totally like unknown. Easter Island is like this magic destination that not everyone adds to their trip, but should be added if you have those 4 or 5 extra days. It's totally different. It's about like the culture, the moais, which are this like stone carved, these carved stones. There's some areas of both countries that are like unique, but can be more similar to what you see back home. So the Lake District area in both countries, or the desert. Like I always say, people who have been in Utah, for example, in the States, I always kind of make the similarity, like, have you been to Utah? So like Atacama feels more like being there. So it depends what they are looking, what like the best itinerary would be. But normally, like in a 12-15 days, I try to add a little bit of one of the cities, for sure Patagonia, Easter Island, and Atacama. Like that would be like a dream trip. But it always depends on the amount of time. And then in terms of activities, like culinary experiences everywhere, like visiting locals, horseback rides, like gaucho experiences in Patagonia, kayaking, ice hiking. It depends how active you are. Like what I would add. Of course, like stargazing. If you can have some days to navigate along the channels in the fjords, that would also be cool. Wildlife sightseeing, like nowadays, like you can see pumas, kayak among whales, scuba dive. It's big in Easter Island, and even like around 5 hours north of Santiago, there's a really cool like scuba diving spot. So yeah, it will depend a little bit on the client's profile, but for sure in a 12 days trip, I would recommend a mix of everything, and of course wines. Like in both countries, you have huge wine lands. So if you're a fan of wines, you have to add them at least a couple days at the beginning, or ideally at the end, just before like going to the airport, just like splurging yourself with some amazing wines.